In the introductory video, we showed how to download and install FreshStart Bankruptcy Software. In this video, we'll show how to set up and initialize the basic information in a client's file, and then we'll do a document or two. In subsequent videos, we'll do combinations of documents or individual ones that are more complex, like the Statement of Financial Affairs, for instance, or maybe Schedule B, personal property. But here we'll just set up a file so you can see what the ensuing screens look like. As we mentioned previously, you can open up the help file by accessing it through the green desktop icon, and you can minimize it to the taskbar and access it as needed as you go along. We'll close it this time and show you also you can access the help file online. So here we've opened up Firefox, and we're at the home page for freshstart.com. And then the navigation bar over on the right has a link to the user guide. So we have it open here. We'll minimize that. And we'll start the program through the red desktop icon, and we'll set up a file. In the demonstration, we had set up test 7 just to show you how to put in a client folder. But here we'll make the name more specific. We'll make it single 7, because the example that we'll do will be a Chapter 7 single person filing. Now here, instead of saying wait, set up later, we'll set the file up now. Now these are the defaults, and we have them in here. Western District of Washington with appropriate trustee, and we have an attorney's name. If there was no attorney, you click the box down here and then put in the debtor's phone number. And you can see what that does. It dims these boxes under office information. But we'll uncheck that for purposes of doing this, and we'll use the defaults. Now, if you change it, anything, whether it's the court, trustee, attorney's name, it'll default up for subsequent files. So you only need to change it once, or if you do something in another jurisdiction subsequent to that and change it, it'll default up after that. Now we can go online here to check. If, let's say, you were in a different jurisdiction and wanted the address, you could go online to the DOJ site and then click, let's say, New Mexico, and get the address for the trustee in Albuquerque, copy, and paste it out of this screen into the program. So we'll leave this open, and then we'll leave these defaults here and go to the next screen. So next thing we want to check is a median income. Well, we're not sure exactly whether they're in or out, so we'll go back to our help file, and then here's the means test. And through it, what we can do is go to the site where it's listed. So we'll say we'll look at Washington, so it's 51,671 for a single person. So we'll just go ahead and close this now. And then we have checked here, debtor income is less than the median. And we're going to file a 7, unmarried individual consumer, filing fee attached. You can change that to different things. Married, not joint, not separated, for instance. Unmarried, and we'll leave it. We got individual consumer attached. Now, typically the only thing that'll be attached as an exhibit is D, which is credit counseling, and A, having to do with SEC filings, and C, dangerous property, are usually not checked. Now here we're going to pick venue for jurisdiction we're filing in, domicile in that jurisdiction. And here we'll leave this unchecked, having to do with the debtor, having judgment against them by the landlord. Now here we'll put in some name. And we won't put any AKAs in. We'll put in the county. well as the EIN. If you didn't know the address, you could, for instance, look it up. We'll go back to the desktop and open up the help file, and here you could there'll be a link in here having to do with basic information. Here's mailing abbreviations. The whole list will be here. And then you can go online if you have the address and look it up at the USPS site, and it'll give you the zip +4. So we'll minimize this. We're back now at the desktop help file, but okay, here we'll go to the next screen. No prior bankruptcies, no related bankruptcies. So you can go back at this point and still check. So we'll go back a couple of screens, and let's go back to all of them. And since we put in everything correct the first time, then well, we could go back and put in the rest of the zip code, I suppose. Then we'll go to the Documents menu. This will set up the basic file, put that information in the caption, header, that type of thing, signature blocks, and names underneath the appropriate places in the documents that do need a signature block. Now the setup takes a minute or two here. This particular machine is a web book, so it's not as fast as you might normally have. We'll do a blank document here just to show how, well, we won't. We'll do this first. We'll bring up the petition and the summary. Now many times people need to have a petition or summary right away, or at least a petition to file the case and get a stay in place, and then take the next couple of weeks to get the documents in. Now, since all the documents aren't in that you need in order to file a completed petition, they'll be listed here, and they're shown on this list as not done. So basically A through H, and then the mailing list. We'll bring it up anyway just to show you what it looks like. And then we should get the same kind of a notice on the summary, which of course can't be finished until all the schedules are in. So there's just a notice that the petition comes up in 2 windows. Now here's a summary notice having to do with what documents are not compiled, A through J. And we'll bring it up regardless. So here's a summary, and as you can see, it's empty. No documents are in this column. 0 pages. And so we'll close it, take a look at the petition. So we'll go to page 1 of the petition. You can see it looks just like the official forms. Now what you can do, of course, is you can change these as you need them. The program, when all the schedules are in, it'll automatically put the correct things in the statistical administrative information boxes here. But if you needed to put something in for an emergency filing, you could copy and paste and then delete as needed. But we won't do that this time. We'll leave it. So that's page 1, and then here's page 2 and page 3 of the petition. So here's 2, and then here's 3. There's a note in the help file about electronic filing, and if you want to put in conformed signatures, what you can do is you can put them in as defaults in a list of documents that's listed in there, and then whenever you compile documents, it'll be there as the default. You won't have to manually put it in. So if you wanted to put in /x/ and then the name in lowercase, you could do that on the appropriate documents. So we'll restart the program by just clicking on the toolbar, and then here we'll do a blank form, and then show how it shows up on the summary. Close this. bring this up to the screen, Schedule G and the summary of schedules. Then G will be, of course, marked. This indicates the items that are missing from the see, G is not shown here. E, F, and then H. We'll bring it up regardless. Now here's a summary of schedules in this particular screen. And as you'll see, we'll scroll down here. G is in, yes, and it's one page, and it's been put on the total. So we'll close that and take a look at G itself. Here's G. You can see this word here is not in the dictionary. Add to dictionary. It'll take the underline out from under it. So that's it. Here we go. Here we'll restart the program, and we'll go to the Finish menu, and then we'll exit Word. Well, you could say, let's say we're going to continue working or work on a different file. And if we're going to put in a new file, then we get this screen. If we're going to work on an existing file, there's only one in, so it defaults right to it. Otherwise, we get a drop-down list of which one to pick. So here we'll exit Word, and that takes care of how to set up a file. Now the next video, what we'll do is we'll start going through some of the documents in this